The lesson plan for back to school. The countdown is on across Ontario. What can students, teachers, and families prepare themselves for after years of disruptions? Have lessons been learned? Good evening. Hard to believe it's nearly that moment. At this time next week, we'll be just hours away from kids packing their bags.
They've also been packing their patience over the last few years. Whether labor or a pandemic, there have been no shortage of disruptions. So what's on the agenda this time around? CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris is live with her top story. Siobhan.
Well, Nathan, we know there's been a lot of learning lost through the pandemic, and standardized test scores have been slipping. The government is out with a collection of changes to curriculum that they hope will help turn things around. A greeting in cursive, a sign of the revamped learning plan for kids in Ontario schools. The government says it's putting a new focus on the basics: writing, reading, and math.
Supported by over $700 million, nearly $700 million more in base funding, as well as a $109 million investment in literacy and the hiring of 2,000 additional educators.
That includes doubling the number of math coaches, dedicating 30 minutes to reading instruction every day, a greater focus on phonics and digital literacy, a digital tech class in grade 10, and mental health education. Some education advocates feel this focus on reading, writing, and math is too narrow and leaves out other key skills.
Learning to collaborate, learning to communicate effectively in multiple ways, learning to be a good critical problem solver, to understand other people's perspectives.
The government and Union for Public High School Teachers have agreed to move to binding arbitration if they can't negotiate a contract by October 27th.
We've asked our remaining teacher unions to meet with the government to reach a similar review agreement to sign this deal that will keep our kids in school.
Those other unions are taking a pass.
There's some very substantive issues that need to be reached before we can move to sort of an end stage.
Owekta is still waiting for hiring promised during the pandemic to come through, so they don't know that a pledge for more educators now will help much.
If the foundation of a house fell through and you had no floor and the front door caved in while that happened, and you would replace the front door and it would look really nice, but when you walk in the door, you're still going to fall through to the foundation.
Ontario won't follow New Brunswick and Saskatchewan, forcing schools to disclose when a student has changed their gender identity at school, even if it's against the child's wishes. The minister says schools need to be safe spaces, but
we can have situations where information is being withheld from a parent. We think that transparency is a strength.
Advocates explain children's rights need to be respected.
You may have a parent or a set of parents who are extremely homophobic, extremely transphobic.
Lecce says schools should be supporting parents to have difficult discussions with their kids. Well, in terms of other things that are new this year, the government's also requiring that school boards make obvious on their website exactly what teachers are learning on professional development days. Reporting live, I'm Siobhan Morris. Nathan, back to you.